got a tranquilizer?
Police officers face danger every day, whether it's dealing with armed criminals or responding to emergency situations. But what happens when their duties involve confronting dangerous animals? These brave officers have found themselves in some wild encounters with some of the most powerful creatures on the planet. From tigers to chimps and everything in between, these cops have faced unimaginable threats and risked their own lives to protect others. Here are some of the craziest and insane moments cops encounter dangerous animals. In a truly shocking and devastating incident, a 14-year-old chimpanzee named Travis attacked 55-year-old Charla Nash on February 16, 2009, causing catastrophic and life-altering injuries. The horrifying event unfolded at the Stamford, Connecticut, home of Sandra Harold, Travis's owner. Despite being described as a beloved companion and raised almost like a family member, Travis's behavior took a tragic and violent turn that day, leaving everyone involved permanently scarred. The attack began unexpectedly, plunging Sandra Harold into a state of desperation and fear. Sandra, who had lived with Travis since he was a baby, made a frantic call to 911 in the midst of the assault. He ripped her face off. Sandra can be heard screaming in terror, her voice conveying the unimaginable horror of the situation. She tried everything in her power to stop the attack, including hitting Travis with a shovel and stabbing him with a knife, but her efforts were in vain. The chimpanzee's aggression persisted until law enforcement arrived on the scene. Faced with a chaotic and dangerous situation, one officer made the difficult decision to shoot Travis 4 times to end the attack. Charla Nash survived, but was left with devastating injuries, including the loss of her hands, eyes, and much of her face, requiring extensive medical treatment and surgeries. A lawsuit against Sandra resulted in a $4 million settlement, but the emotional and physical tolls were irreparable. Sandra herself passed away in 2010, marking the end of a tragic chapter.
What's the problem?
Send the police!
What's the problem there?
The chimp killed my friend!
What's the problem with your friend?
Oh, please!
What's the problem with your friend? I need to know.
Send the police up! With a gun! With a gun! Hurry
Who
up!
has a gun?
Please, hurry up! He's killing my girlfriend!
What is the problem?
A family watches as a police officer engages with a decently sized alligator, attempting to secure it and remove it from a residential area. Another officer nearby records the encounter, asking if the officer has handled such situations before. The officer confidently replies yes, and it shows as he expertly deals with the predator. Despite their speed, alligators tire quickly, a fact the officer uses to his advantage by exhausting the animal. Once subdued, he skillfully handles the creature, even taking a calculated risk to ensure it is fully restrained. Fortunately, the situation is resolved safely, with no injuries reported.
No, none of us do. It's weird. You do this often?
The next individual found themselves facing an extremely unusual and unfamiliar foe. With no other option available, they had to seek help from a local officer. The incident took place on a seemingly normal day in Boone Beach, Florida, when a resident made an urgent call to the police department. Their concern stemmed from an unexpected and intimidating visitor, a large alligator that had chosen to lounge directly outside their front door, making it impossible for them to leave their home safely. Officer Alfredo Vargas responded to the call and arrived promptly at the scene to assess the situation. Upon encountering the sizable reptile, he quickly evaluated the potential danger. Instead of waiting for a professional alligator trapper to arrive, which could have taken some time, the officer decided to take immediate action and handle the situation himself. This decision showcased his bravery and resourcefulness, as such encounters can be highly unpredictable. Thanks to his prior training and experience in handling alligators, Officer Vargas was able to safely and successfully subdue the animal. Demonstrating remarkable composure and skill, he carefully restrained the alligator, ensuring the safety of both the animal and the residents. Once the situation was under control, the officer placed the alligator into the back of his patrol car. After driving a few miles away, Vargas released the alligator into a nearby canal, choosing a location where it could safely return to its natural habitat. His swift and decisive actions not only resolved the immediate danger, but also prevented the alligator from being killed, a common outcome in such cases. These are just a few of the most intense and dangerous encounters that police officers have had to face against animals. While they may have the training and experience to handle these situations, it's quite humbling to remember that even the most seemingly harmless creatures can pose a grave threat when provoked or in an unpredictable situation. We thank all first responders for their bravery and dedication to protecting our communities, even when facing unexpected dangers such as these. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to subscribe and switch on your notification to get updated on our next video. A police officer prepares himself as he and others in a building attempt to catch a snake that has slithered inside. Despite appearing agitated, the officer remains determined to ensure the snake is safely removed. At one point, a woman tries to lure the snake toward the officer, leading to a tense and terrifying moment. The snake hides behind a trash bin, causing panic among those present. They cautiously move the bin to reveal the snake, a risky but effective tactic. Eventually, the snake is safely led outside, bringing relief to everyone involved in the nerve-wracking encounter.
You're like, I'm staying away.
She was really ready to have this door open.
Hang on. Holy! Somebody at the door!
But where is it?
Where is it? They had a trash can.
In Kansas City, Missouri, an unusual and tense situation unfolded in October 2010 when police were called to handle a massive 300-pound chimpanzee that had escaped from its owner's home. The incident caused widespread panic among residents, who reported seeing the large animal roaming freely through their neighborhood. Witnesses described the chaos as the chimpanzee smashed car windows, scared bystanders, and created a scene of complete disorder. Authorities arrived quickly and attempted to subdue the chimpanzee, recognizing the immediate threat it posed to public safety. Despite their efforts, including the use of tranquilizers, the chimp proved to be highly elusive. It climbed trees and evaded every attempt at capture, keeping officers and animal control teams on high alert. The situation drew significant attention, with neighbors gathering at a safe distance to watch the unfolding drama. Finally, after hours of tense activity, the chimpanzee's owner was able to intervene and coax the animal back into its cage. Following its recapture, the chimp was transferred to a retirement facility for exotic animals where it could be cared for in a more suitable environment.
Guys, back your car up. He's gonna damage it.
He's crazy. He hit one car, started smiling. What a crazy day.
In another highly unusual and bizarre incident, June 2019, police officers in Baltimore responded to a home after receiving a call about what was believed to be a breaking and entering situation. The report came from concerned homeowners who had noticed clear signs of a disturbance in their house. These included a damaged window and blood on the floor, which led them to assume that a burglar had forcefully entered their property. Understandably alarmed, the homeowners contacted law enforcement to handle what they thought was a dangerous situation. However, upon arriving at the scene, the officers made a completely unexpected discovery. The intruder was not a human at all, but a deer that had somehow found its way inside the home. The presence of the animal took everyone by surprise. The deer, likely scared and disoriented, had caused damage to a brand new $200 lamp while attempting to navigate its unfamiliar surroundings. To resolve the unusual situation, the police collaborated with animal control to guide the deer out of the house safely. Thankfully, the incident ended without harm to anyone involved, including the deer.
Police, let me see your hand. That's a deer. It's a deer. It's a deer. Go, go.
In a bizarre and unexpected incident, officers in Tampa were called to an unusual disturbance near the iconic Raymond James Stadium. On March 29, 2023, a 9-foot alligator was spotted wandering down a busy highway, creating chaos and alarming both motorists and pedestrians. The sight of such a large reptile navigating the streets was enough to bring traffic to a halt and prompt concerned citizens to contact local authorities for help. When Tampa police officers arrived at the scene, they were met with the challenge of managing the situation while ensuring the safety of everyone nearby. As one officer approached with a baton, the gator responded by hissing and whipping its tail. The unexpected aggression from the alligator made the officers' task even more difficult, requiring them to act quickly and carefully. Without other viable options, the officers collaborated to subdue the massive reptile while awaiting the arrival of the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. Ultimately, the alligator was safely removed from the area and transported to a more suitable location. Another disturbing event is the case involving a shocking and violent incident where a pet chimpanzee brutally attacked an elderly woman and her daughter in June 2021. The chaos began when the family made a frantic call to emergency services, desperately seeking assistance. They pleaded for both medical aid and an armed deputy to handle the dangerous situation. The distraught caller explained that the chimpanzee had attacked her 50-year-old daughter, leaving her severely injured and bleeding profusely. The severity of the attack led the caller to stress that the animal would need to be shot to prevent further harm. The scene was described in harrowing detail. The caller revealed that she and her injured daughter had retreated to the basement, locking themselves inside for safety. From their position, they were unable to retrieve a firearm or apply sufficient pressure to the wounds due to the overwhelming threat posed by the 200-pound animal. The situation outside was equally perilous. The chimpanzee remained on the patio, ready to attack anyone who approached. The woman who called emphasized the danger to responding officers, urging them to exercise extreme caution and to use lethal force if necessary to subdue the animal. The attack left the woman in critical need of urgent medical attention due to the severe injuries inflicted by the animal. Upon arriving at the chaotic scene, officers found themselves facing an incredibly dire and high-risk situation. They had to act swiftly to secure the area while ensuring the injured woman received immediate care. The officers worked to navigate a complicated layout, including a secondary fence under the patio, which presented additional challenges. In the midst of the turmoil, officers made the difficult decision to fatally shoot the chimpanzee to prevent further harm. Following the incident, both the chimpanzee's owner, Tamara Bueti, and her daughter were transported to the hospital for treatment. The daughter sustained significant injuries from the brutal attack, while the incident itself sparked significant public attention. Animal rights group PETA criticized the decision to keep the chimpanzee as a pet, describing it as a ticking time bomb. Under Oregon law, owning exotic pets without a proper license is prohibited, raising questions about how Tamara obtained the animal in the first place.
Is that fence open?
No. There's a secondary fence under the patio. Yeah, this one is, but... Oh. Buddy? Alright, I'm gonna try to get in for a shot.
On December 29th, 2021, an incident occurred that stunned people around the globe. At the Naples Zoo in Florida, a 26-year-old contracted cleaner named Anthony Robert Rosenquist found himself in a life-threatening situation that few could imagine. Employed to perform cleaning duties but not directly interact with the animals, Rosenquist ventured into a restricted area of the zoo after hours, a decision that would prove nearly fatal. Without authorization or proper safety precautions, Rosenquist reached into the enclosure of an 8-year-old Malayan tiger named Echo. This critically endangered species, known for its powerful build and territorial nature, became alarmed and attacked Rosenquist. The tiger latched onto his arm with a grip so forceful it left him in excruciating pain and unable to free himself. The sheer terror of the moment was evident when Rosenquist managed to call 911 amidst the chaos, his voice filled with desperation as he pleaded for help. The audio recording from that call, filled with panic and raw emotion, later became a chilling testament to the horror of the event. Emergency responders arrived swiftly at the scene. Faced with the challenge of saving Rosenquist without compromising their own safety, police officers took decisive action. Despite efforts to de-escalate the situation and coax Echo into releasing his grip, the tiger remained unyielding. Officers were left with no choice but to use lethal force to save the man's life. Rosenquist was rushed to the hospital, where surgeons worked tirelessly to repair the extensive damage to his arm. Against all odds, they managed to save it from amputation. In this case, the actions of Rosenquist led to the tiger's death, but he did not face any charges as no criminal laws applied to the situation.
Hello, ma'am? Help me, I'm at the Naples Zoo. Help me, please, I'm at the Naples Zoo. Okay, what's happening? I'm being attacked by a tiger. Please, please, please.
Oh my god. Is that real?
Please. Oh my god. Please help me.